Tonight, we introduce you to the newest member of the Washington State University Board of Regents.
And Mackenzie Foster updates us on the homecoming bonfire cancellation.
And Avista's top executive will receive an $18 million payout. Murrow News 8 starts now.
From Studio B on the campus of Washington State University, this is Pullman's only nightly newscast. This is Murrow News 8.
Good evening, I'm Taylor Swanson.
And I'm Guillermo Mota. Welcome to Murrow News 8.
Yesterday, Governor Jay Inslee appointed Marty Dickinson to the Washington State University Board of Regents. Dickinson largely contributed to the creation of the WSU Elson S. Floyd College of Medicine in Spokane. She also chairs the WSU Medical School Advisory Board. Dickinson graduated from WSU and replaces Don Bararbi, who served as the WSU Regent for the last 3 years. Democratic candidates from the Washington State 9th Legislative District, Jennifer Goulet and Matthew Sutherland, spoke at a town hall meeting at noon today on the Washington State University campus. The WSU Foley Institute hosted the meeting in Bryan Hall, and the candidates answered questions from members of the community regarding a variety of topics. Goulet continues running against incumbent Mary Dye, and Sutherland faces off against incumbent Joe Schmick. Both incumbents were invited but did not show up for the event. Questions ranged from the ARM to Planned Parenthood. While many appreciate the sunny weather for homecoming, the conditions have prevented WSU from holding one of its most storied homecoming traditions. Mackenzie Foster joins us at the flag lane to explain why this year's bonfire will not happen. Mackenzie?
That's right, Taylor. Students can expect a slight change of plans during this homecoming week. Washington State University Fire and Safety Compliance Officer Darren Jones canceled the WSU annual bonfire due to dry weather conditions. The fire danger level, currently classified as very high or extreme, has resulted in a burn ban of all open fires on campus. A bonfire-less homecoming will still take place at Fire Lane Bonfire behind me on Friday evening. Students and faculty that choose to attend the event can expect to see a pep rally, WSU cheer squad, Crimson Girls, and some WSU athletes. The current burn ban prohibits charcoal and open bonfires, but tailgaters can still use a contained propane gas bonfire as well as a barbecue. That's all I have for you today. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Mackenzie. Last night, Pullman School District officials held a meeting to discuss another bond vote. The school board met with Superintendent Bob Maxwell to discuss plans for Lincoln Middle School overcrowding issues. In 2002, Pullman School District reconstructed the building under a $15.4 million bond. The bond expires in 2020, making the Lincoln Middle School expansion a top priority for the district. Maxwell proposed that the school board hire an architect to examine the building to determine how much an expansion of the project would cost. He hopes this project will cost less than the reconstructed bond from 2002. University of Idaho enrollment dipped this year for the first time in 10 years. The president of university, Chuck Stabin, said that they expect their full-time on-campus student numbers down. He also said that these numbers have a negative impact on the school's budget. Despite the low enrollment, Stabin encourages everyone to continue their academic efforts.
Pullman's midweek farmers market celebrates its 10th anniversary this year. Murrow News 8 reporter Alex Clark has the story about Pullman's only farmers market.
The Pullman's Midweek Farmers Market celebrates 10 years of service the same way it does every week, by selling fresh market produce straight from the farmers of Pullman directly to the community.
We really place an emphasis on farmers and producers, so we're always trying to maintain a 60% ratio of farmers and producers, with 40% of that ratio coming from craft vendors, value-added vendors, and like hot, ready-to-eat prepared food vendors.
For those of you who don't know what a traditional farmer's market is, it's a little different than your normal supermarket or grocery store. This is where farmers gather their stuff and sell it directly to the consumers, usually at very small venues, or something can be a very big venue depending on where you go to.
Well, my licensing is very special in that I sell a product that is sold off the farm, fresh, within 48 hours of slaughter. So I'm here taking orders because I have to have that all lined up, and my customers are awesome, and they get to see how I run my business, and then they come out to the farm and pick it up.
Yeah, we've been coming as a vendor to the market since day one, 10 years ago. We sell a lot more. When we first started the market, we were a brand new farm. We were still students actually and farming on the side.
Alex Clark, Murrow News 8.
When we come back, we'll catch up on Avista's $18 million payout.
And the residents in the Whitman County will receive high-speed internet when Murrow News 8 continues.
So good to see you guys. So, what's up?
Oh, we finally bought a place.
Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Is it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
This is the moment I knew his future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
The Washington State Community Economic Revitalization Board will provide financial support to bring high-speed internet to the several small Whitman County communities. The board allocated a low-interest loan and grant equaling $1 million to the Port of Whitman County. The county will match the funds with $2 million of their own. The project, named the Last Mile Fiber construction project, will connect homes in Rosalia, Tico, Oakdale, Garfield, and Palouse to broadband fiber.
Spokane-based utility company Avista may merge with Toronto-based company Hydro One Limited. Avista's top executives will receive a combined $18 million immediate payout on the day of the sale. If the sale goes through, Avista will become a subsidiary of Hydro One and no longer have its own stock. However, Hydro One officials said they plan to keep Avista's top 5 performing executives after the sale goes through. A Moscow local made headlines last week after her work appeared in September's British issue Vogue. Jasmine Durachi met with her to find out more about the story.
Rarely does someone get lucky enough to find a lifelong passion that ends up a career. For Arlene Falcon, that passion comes in the form of rainbows.
The colors are singing, and it's like they're just so, the collective colors do something different.
It all started with the Grateful Dead concert in Eugene, Oregon, where she bought some cheap tie-dyed shirts for her kids. Soon after, her family learned how to make their own colorful shirts and gave them to all their friends. But she didn't stop there.
So in the early days, back in '89, we started going to barter fairs, which are hippie swap meets. And we took our tie-dyes, and instead of going there just looking around at things, we had an actual booth, and that was the beginning of our business.
Later, she went from tie-dyeing at her kitchen table to opening a store she could call her own.
Arlene's store features over 175 handmade, colorful items, and anyone leaving the store could leave covered from head to toe in tie-dyed everything.
Now, she finds her work recognized on a level she never dreamed possible.
I get an email from Vogue UK, and I found out that they were trying to gather some clothing from me for a photo shoot that they were doing.
Singers like Lorde and Justin Bieber, as well as supermodel Carly Kloss, admired her work so much they ordered their own pair of tie-dyed jean overalls. And while she takes pride in that accomplishment, she knows she will always value the people she works with.
Arlene is like my second mom. We are all very close, and we all love each other.
As for what comes next, well, you'll just have to ask her.
People say to me, well, what's your 5-year plan? I said, ask me in 5 years.
Reporting from Moscow, Idaho, Jasmine Durachi, Murrow News 8.
Next, an update on the Palouse ice rink renovations.
And Alex Clark tells us what weather to expect for the rest of this week's homecoming festivities when Murrow News 8 continues.
Good one, son.
Last summer, my new dad took me on vacation. First, we went deep sea fishing.
Wow! I'm so proud of you, son.
And then we went on Thunder Shark. That was awesome! Let's go again. 3 times. I gotta say, it was pretty cool.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Oh, not again.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
Fall's weather seems to be a hold-off with the sun still high in the sky. Let's head over to Alex Clark for your upcoming weather forecast and see how long the sun will last.
Thank you, guys. Well, again, for a high today, about 77, it's like 76 degrees, average about 46, again, about 66 degrees right about now. Just a little bit of wind going on as we head ready now for your, a little bit later on today as well. But first off, again, just a wind about a little north-northwest direction. Very low humidity, only about 23% as we get ready again for the rest of homecoming week and Friday as well. Expect the sun to go on for just a little bit longer as well, but going on through tomorrow again, a high of around the early 70s as we now head over to the rest of the state map, over to Spokane, expecting a high of 77, a low of about 48, excuse me, there. Pullman again, 76, 46. Heading over to, again, about the central part of the state, Wenatchee, high of 79, a low of 54. Yakima is getting into the 80s still, even this late into the month, with a high of 80 degrees and a low of 48. Heading over to tomorrow, though, expect in the morning about 68 degrees, in the afternoon a high of 72. But as the evening, going to get a little bit colder with a high in the high 50s. Now for your 5-day forecast again for Friday, a high of 72, a low of 43. Heading over for your Cougar football Saturday, a high of 70 degrees and a low of 43. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Alex. I'm sure looking forward to the sunshine at this Saturday's homecoming game. When we come back, an update on the Palouse ice rink renovations. Murrow News 8 returns after this break.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
When you're out there, there's no telling what you'll find.
I see it! Oh, look at you.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
It's a bummer to hear that there's no football game. I mean, actually no bonfire this weekend with all the bad weather coming in. But more importantly, officials from the Palouse Ice Rink continue to search for the large donation for their $5 million fundraising goal. The ice rink board will use the funds to build a new ice rink facility. Members of the community have raised about $1.7 million. The bulk of the money raised comes from a $1 million commitment by the city. 35,000 people use the facility during a regular season, which runs October through March. The ice rink will hold a public meeting Thursday at the Latah County Fairgrounds to talk about the project. Thank you for watching tonight's show. Join us every weekend at 7 and 10 for Pullman's only nightly newscast.
Have a great night, and don't forget to follow Murrow News 8 on Facebook and Twitter.
Good night, Pullman.
The football game this weekend is going to be great.
Yeah, football against...